Yeah, hi folks. Now, to my surprise the other day, Jacinda Ardern media actually covered cancel culture. Now, when the left start critiquing their own cancel culture, just maybe, the tide is beginning to turn. Anyway, there's lots to cover today, so let's get into it.
No mea nor. When it comes to knowing what's offensive and what isn't, you'd think common decency would prevail. But with the internet being a place to instantly and publicly shame perceived offenders, as well as being such an effective transmitter of outrageous commentary, it's not always the case. But where is cancel culture taking us? Will it serve to further shame or balance the scales?
It's not about balancing the scales at all. It's cultural Marxism.
Karl Stefanovic dives into this war of words.
Talk about fanning the flames of outrage. Britain's king of controversy, Piers Morgan, likes nothing more than pulling up a pew outside London's Kensington Palace.
Up until now, I kept my feelings to myself.
Great to see you.
And you, nice to see you.
Scones or scones?
It's pronounced scones.
These days, Piers has plenty of time to soak up the royal view because the cancel culture mob has claimed his usual seat on British morning TV.
Just wanted to say I really appreciate your honesty on Good Morning Britain. Oh, thank you.
His treasonous crime, criticising the equally outspoken Harry and Meghan.
Like, everybody's looking to cancel somebody these days.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're all walking around on eggshells, terrified of offending people, terrified of losing our job over a misspoken tweet or a comment on Facebook. And it's got to stop.
In the non-contact combat sport of cancelling, Piers Morgan is a target impossible to miss. But he's by no means alone.
Posts on TikTok called for Eminem to be cancelled.
ABC has cancelled its hit reboot of Roseanne following Roseanne Barr's racist tweet.
The news is littered with the names and destroyed careers of many who've broken society's new rules and refused to change.
Yeah, Jonah from Tonga cancelled. Now folks, you'll notice in this clip that a lot of Pacific Islanders got cancelled as well for simply having a sense of humour.
Are you hanging around our table mostly because you think we're the most scucks boys here?
You would like to think so, Jonah, wouldn't you?
I know you are. I've done sums and you spare more time here than with any others, especially the girls, because you like boys more.
Very well.
Miss, do you prefer boys or girls? I think you prefer boys.
I'm not dignifying your question with an answer, Jonah.
Miss, out of all us 5 boys, who's the scucksest one?
This guy.
Not you.
They're not. You're not.
Me, Miss.
Not you.
Miss, ignore me if you think I
think you like the sound of your own voice, Jonah.
I
to
think
be honest.
you like the sound of your own dick.
That's enough. That is enough. All right, I'm getting sick of it now. Do you want to stay in with me at lunchtime?
Yes. Just you and me. Oh, yes.
You're going to get in.
I want to stay in. Miss, you've been inappropriate.
Jonah.
You're going to get arrested. You can't be alone with me in the classroom, Miss. Wait till I turn 18, Miss, at least. 4 more years, Miss. 4 more years. You can wait. Will you wait for me?
Jonah.
She'll be old by then.
What is your problem?
You're like 55.
Oh, yeah, Miss, you'll be too old by the time I'm 18. So, no thanks.
Now, you've got a yellow...
You've got to get Botox.
You've put in a yellow box here on a blue palette.
Yeah, it fits.
Yeah, because...
It works.
I mixed it with red.
And you've done the same thing.
Yeah, it works.
Miss, I'm doing it.
I'm getting really sick of it, Jonah.
I'm not getting sick of you. I like it when you help me, Miss.
I think you like the sound of your own voice. Do your task.
I think you like the sound of your own voice.
All right, there's going to be consequences. I beg your pardon?
You like the sound of your face.
Jonah?
I like the sound of you, Miss.
No. Just do your work and there won't be an issue.
Miss, I finished.
Miss, the reason I talk much is because I want you to stay around here and I like it when you help us out.
I think maybe you need to start again. And Jonah,
Where'd
You,
you
need,
disrupt
you just need to stop flapping your gums.
Stop flapping your what?
Stop flapping your whatevers.
Brilliant humour. Cancelled.
The way they talk about religion, gender, and race.
Thank you for coming.
Everyone from comedians to academics, actors, and celebrities
We'll eventually get to straight white men are not allowed to talk.
are now being scrutinized like never before.
Concern over content.
Dr. Zeus copped such a tongue lashing from the woke brigade, his estate ditched some of his old books. Pepe Le Pew got slam dunked out of Space Jam 2.
Racial trigger warnings on plenty of their content.
And Disney even slapped dangerous stereotype warnings on many of its old classics.
The origin of woke was well intentioned. It was to have an awareness, to be awake to racial and social injustice. We can all sign up to that. But it's been hijacked by a bunch of extremely illiberal people professing to be liberals who have now become the modern day fascists. But these people are marching around like they're Kim Jong-un with a dash of Vladimir Putin. And to me, that will kill our societies.
So, hi.
Hello.
Thanks for joining us.
Along with most of the world, 3 months ago, Piers Morgan was glued to Oprah Winfrey's much-hyped interview with the Duke and Duchess of Sussex.
3 days before our wedding, we got married. Just the two of us in our backyard with the Archbishop of Canterbury. And
as I watched this, I just kept thinking, well, that's not true. That's not true. They couldn't have got married 3 days before they said they did, because that would make the Archbishop of Canterbury a criminal. So there were a lot of things that were coming out of Meghan Markle's mouth in particular, which I knew were untrue. This is a 2-hour trash-a-thon of our royal family.
So he went straight on air and said exactly that.
I'm sorry, I don't believe a word she says, Meghan Markle.
Well, that's a
I wouldn't believe it if she read me a weather report.
Almost immediately, the internet lit up, as did the ITV switchboard. First came accusations of racism.
Yeah, of course. Racism is the only word they know.
Then worse.
I didn't know this at the time, but Meghan Markle had personally complained to the boss of my company.
Well, she's a lowlife, just like Debbie Nariwa Packer.
ITV on the Monday night.
Really?
Yeah, I wasn't told this till after I'd left, and I was demanded that I apologise for disbelieving her, or I would have to vacate my chair. I thought there was hypocrisy. I thought there were downright lies coming out in this interview, and I saw my job to hold these two people to the same account I would hold a government minister. And for doing that, you know, within 36 hours, I had to leave the job.
You continue to trash her.
Okay, I'm done with this.
No, sorry.
And leave he did.
Do you know what? That's
You
pathetic.
can trash me, mate, but not my
No.
Walking out of Good Morning Britain in the middle of their live broadcast.
You're not allowed to have strong opinions about things. You're not allowed to disbelieve a liar like Meghan Markle. And I'm sorry to call her that, but she tells lies. And we've demonstrated that and proven that. Well, why can't you disbelieve somebody like that? If you started telling me a lot of whoppers right now, am I supposed to believe you? Do I have to believe you? And freedom of speech to me is more important than actually the Meghan Markle debacle or anything else.
I think what's different here is that you have this extreme paranoia on the part of people who used to feel quite comfortable, you know, with their place at the top of the table, leading the country's conversation, and are now feeling a bit threatened by the fact that audiences can talk back.
But they're not talking back, they're cancelling.
Oh, hello there, it's Rowdy Waititi. And did you see me in the parliament yesterday? I didn't get my own way, and I disturbed Judith Collins, I did it a few times. I stood up when she went to speak because I didn't show respect, and I wear my hat in Parliament Day all the time, and no one will say nothing to me because I'm a Maori, and I show no respect to these Pakeha because all Pakeha in New Zealand are all racist, And so I just don't show any respect. And the only reason I'm in Parliament is because I failed the test to get in the mongrel mob. And so I got all the tattoos on my face, even though I've just washed them off. I got all the tattoos on my face, and I said to the Maori party, "Oh, can you let me in the Maori party?" And they said, "What's your qualifications?" And I said, "Well, I got all my tattoos on my face, and I call everybody racist, And all the Paki are in New Zealand, they're all effing racist, And the Maori party said, "Oh yeah, mate, oh yeah, hey bro, you can join our Maori party, and you can go in Parliament, But on one condition, you've got to say the word racist in every sentence, And I said, "Oh yeah, I can do that because I'm highly qualified in that, And when I don't get my own way, I break out into a haka. I break into haka and say,
Yeah, now Lee has been cancelled, but for some strange reason, this guy hasn't.
President Biden's son, Hunter, is being accused of using the N-word multiple times while texting with his white lawyer. Hunter reportedly sent attorney George Messiers a text in January of 2019 that talked about a big penis. He also told the lawyer, "I only love you because you're black," and true that N-word, except he actually said the word. In another text just a month earlier, the younger Biden wrote the lawyer saying, "How much money do I owe you? Because N-word, you better not be charging me Hennessy rates." There were several more references to a penis and the N-word throughout the leaked texts. Biden also reportedly kept a racist meme on his laptop of his father, Joe Biden, and former President Barack Obama. Now, this is a story that so many people on the right have said, why is nobody on the left talking about it? Why are no black people talking about it? Why are you giving them a pass? You wouldn't do this if Donald Trump would do it. Okay, let's be clear here. This ain't Donald Trump. This is Hunter Biden. This ain't Joe Biden. This is Hunter Biden.
So Hunter gets a pass simply because he's not the president?
High-profile activist and journalist Ash Sarkar isn't afraid to take Pierce on. She says cancelling is not a new form of mob rule, but an important tool of social justice.
I don't think that the problem matches up to the scale of news coverage, conversation, and moral panic that's around it.
Now, come on. Dr. Zeus has gone with the wind?
So I think those things aren't examples of cancellation. What we see are really important literary texts, whether it's children's literature or a piece of cinema that is absolutely iconic, being interpreted and critiqued in different ways. That's not an attack of freedom of speech. That's actually in the spirit of academic interrogation and freedom of speech itself.
Wow, in her deluded mind, cancelling people is free speech. So why doesn't she use her version of free speech to cancel this?
So now, PBS is teaming up with the New York City Department of Education. They're partnering up on Drag Queen Story Hour programming. Here is Miss Little Hot Mess, one of the leaders of Drag Queen Story Hour, talking about the new venture, which is geared towards kids aged 3 to 8.
Get your singing voices ready. And we're going to start with our hips. The hips on the drag queen go swish, swish, swish. Swish, swish, swish. Swish, swish, swish. The hips on the drag queen go swish, swish, swish. All through the town, the dance of the drag queen goes twirl, 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 twirl. The dance of the drag queen goes twirl, 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 all through the town. Big finish. Excellent. Give yourselves a round of applause.
Okay, I've had enough round of applause. That's too much round of applause. What's wrong with that? Hey, what's wrong with that? Are you seriously going to say it's wrong for drag queens to be dancing around for children? You can't say that. The New York City Department of Education says it's great. PBS, public broadcasting, says it's great. This is no longer just in some library. Your kids are going to see this if they're watching PBS, which means you're a bad parent. but let's say they flip, you're trying to show them the good stuff. You're trying to show them wholesome entertainment, like, I don't know, anything else. But then they accidentally turn on PBS and they see this. This is what's going out there in the culture. And you will not be, there is no academic freedom in the classroom or at work or in the government to disagree with this sort of thing. You'll be called a bigot, you'll be called a phobe of some sort, and you will lose your job.
Yes. Cancel culture goes in one way only.
It's the topic of freedom of speech, or the lack of it, that makes Piers's blood boil. So much so, he's written a book about how the internet is killing it.
I think we are in a culture war. I'm prepared to fight it as a liberal, appealing to fellow liberals who've just lost their minds. Look, think about what you're doing. Stop telling everybody else how to lead their lives.
So how does someone have a future then, like yourself, in a media landscape that is forever changed, surely?
You stand up for yourself. You stand up for what you believe in, and you protect the basic freedoms of the country you're in. The woke brigade are snapping at people's heels, trying to put everybody back in their box now. And it started in America, it's come to Britain, it's come to Australia, and it's a real menace.
Yeah, anyway, I'll just fast forward a bit.
Ah, that troublesome Dr. Zeus.
Yeah, Noddy, Dr. Zeus, Enid Blyton. They still sell.
This peaceful seaside bookshop feels a long way from the raging waters of cancel wars. But if we were in America or parts of Europe right now, a number of these books would be hidden away in shame.
You can't cancel history. History's not ours to cancel. We don't
Exactly.
own it. So selling parts of history, to me, I think is perfectly normal. We still sell copies of Mein Kampf when they come in because it's a part of history that is important to how we got here, and banning it and never selling it doesn't advance anyone's anything.
Absolutely true.
We're just pretending that didn't happen, and history isn't ours to erase.
Unlike in other countries, owner Julia Wilson believes her customers are smart enough to make up their own minds about what they want to read.
In reality, people are going to lean whichever way they're going to lean, but I think the majority of people have common sense. And I think there's an awful lot of hype about, oh, but the left say this, and oh, but the right say that. But I think, certainly within my world, the majority of people that I know live in that middle section who are just going, wow, you guys are really being quite crazy about this.
Julia has a unique viewpoint on cancel culture. Not only a bookshop owner, she's also a well-known comedian, and as a former bouncer, she knows how to read a fight.
I don't think political correctness has gone too far. You can't say racist, homophobic, misogynistic things anymore. That's a good thing.
No, it's not, because who decides what's appropriate and what's not? Good humour is already being destroyed by political correctness. Anyway, I'll just fast forward again.
I would say that you should publish books, not cancel them, and that the general public ought to have the opportunity to judge for themselves whether they think the book has merit or not.
Tony Lyons, the owner of publishing house Sky Horse, says it's madness and is defiantly continuing to print the books the rest are scared to touch.
Most publishers seem to be more focused on what the whole world thinks about what their decisions are rather than why they're making the decisions.
Skyhorse's latest title, Cancel This Book, claims we are in the grip of a free speech crisis.
They wanted to just cancel as many people as they could.
Its author, Dan Kovalik, is glad Tony has his back. It used to be sex sells, now it's cancel culture.
Absolutely. And it used to be that progressives would brag about reading banned books, and now they're asking that books be banned.
Exactly.
When he's not stirring up trouble, Dan is a high-profile human rights lawyer and peace activist. Not someone you'd expect to be taking a stand here. But he's doing it because he believes the woke police have gone too far. What they're going to say about you is, this raving left-winger is a right-wing nut.
Yeah, and they're already saying it. No, they're absolutely. I'm out in the cold. But if that's the case, then that's the case. I believe what I believe, and I'm going to fight for what I want to fight for. I mean, my feeling is this sort of attack on individuals, on works of art, on works of literature, is not advancing the cause of social justice. And to bully someone in the name of social justice, I find particularly offensive.
Yeah, exactly. But sadly, our totalitarian thugs don't seem to get that simplicity.
But taking it to a cancel level is so different to what we're used to.
So the U.S., at least, I can speak as an American, has this strange history of kind of mob rule at times. And this is what this is. This is the mob reacting. And in the day, you had to literally go to your barn and get your, your pitchforks and your torches. Now you can do it from the comfort of your bed with your fuzzy slippers on.
Dan says the mob's targets are often ordinary people making honest mistakes who get wiped out without mercy.
I think that cancel culture depends on silence. If someone's being mobbed, and I've seen this, I've seen friends being mobbed on Facebook, on Twitter, you got to defend your friends. And most people don't want to do that because they're afraid they will be victims of cancel culture. You have to take that risk because it's only when people who care remain silent that this can go on. And that's why I wrote this book. I don't want to be one of those people.
What often gets dismissed as being thin-skinned and hypersensitive is actually just people saying, I want to be respected.
So destroying people's lives somehow gains respect. Anyway, I'll just fast forward again.
He warns that if left unchecked, eventually today's cancellers will themselves end up getting their comeuppance.
Here's what I say to the woke brigade. Right now, what's happening right now will be considered inappropriate in 50 years' time.
In 10 years' time, or less.
You'll all get cancelled. You won't have been nearly good enough or virtuous enough for the woke brigade in 50 years' time. That's what they don't realise, is that once you start this process, everything becomes problematic. Everything becomes something that has to be cancelled.
Would you try and cancel a Piers Morgan?
Would I try and cancel a Piers Morgan? Well, I've tried my best and it hasn't worked so far.
Well, that girl is pure evil, unabashed scum.